Betwixt the raising of the undying emperor and the great planar war that shook the heavens, there was an age of contradiction, where cannons won kingdoms and muskets kept the peace. A brave few won the hearts of the conquered and conquerors alike. Of these we speak of the decline of the great kingdoms and cultures under the heel of empire. Of those we speak of gladiators and the untold thousands that worshipped them. This in an age of glory, where kings would be slaves and a gladiator would be king.
I just figured out why Damian insisted on becoming a gladiator. Damian wants to become king, doesn't he? As per the intro prophecy. Mark's not denying it. Holy theory time, Batman. What does it mean? Alright, the mics are hot. Except for Ahmed's. Now it's hot. Woo! Alright. Welcome to Die Dragon Die presents The Dread and Circus Campaign, Season 2, Episode 10. I'm your DM host, Marty, joined by Adam, Mark, and Ahmed today. Wow, full house, guys. Good to see you. It's been forever. How do we even know how to do this anymore?
I don't know. Who's this guy?
Well, I'm on a laptop without
I suspect it's been so long, Ahmed might forget how to use his spells.
they're all sorcerer spells.
That could be tomorrow.
I'll use a mythic point.
Oh, and we've got two Martys. There we go. We got an Adam lying in bed. Yep. Do you know, we had a player once when we were doing this remote, not streaming, where he would lie down in bed and just sort of prop his laptop like this.
For 9 hours.
For 9 hours, yep.
9 hours.
Like this.
Never has he ever gotten up. Ever.
But the thing is, like, he would start to fall asleep. I'm like, sit up. Right.
No, I'm perfectly fine.
I'm going to lie down for 9 hours, but I'm going to stay perfectly awake.
Blanket to the chin.
I am here until basically we're going to do tag with the living room, and then I will go downstairs.
Okay. What's going on in downstairs land?
Oh, in my basement? So the flooring's being redone, and when they did that, a chunk of the wiring is getting done as well, and that's not there, so I don't have electricity. And all my stairs are now wood. So I got wooden stairs everywhere, which is cool, as opposed to the carpet from before. So yeah, the house is getting prepped for either more living here or for selling, one of the two. Also, my living room is now a tree, which in about 3 hours I will show you. I will Blair Witch through my house, and you can see my tree that takes up about a third of my living room.
Spotting.
Right. So yeah, the tree was significantly large enough that we had to move all the furniture just so that you could see the TV, because it doesn't go in the corner because it's too big. It's just in the middle of the fucking room.
Oh, seance tree. Oh,
seance tree.
You rule our lives now. Oh, weird. Yes, thanks.
Oh, yeah.
I'm enjoying my Swedish fish. All right. Ahmed, how's it going, man? It's been 2 weeks.
I'm good.
Have you updated your character named Cade yet?
I am still updating him. He hasn't been introduced. I can make all changes I want.
It's like multiple times per day I get these updates from OneNote that this character sheet named
Perfection
Cade
is being achieved.
Mm-hmm. I get bombarded with rule questions, although there were good questions, some of them.
Some of them were really late. Some of them were really late in the day.
Some of them were like, we've been playing this game for how long?
Well, they were good questions.
The one about what happens first, is it the poison or the stunning fist, I thought about, and we came up with a thing. And then, Mark, how's it going? You are muted, Mark.
You are muted, Mark.
Not bad.
Okay.
I've got my. I am not muted.
There you go.
No,
we
we
got
hear
you
you.
back.
You hear me now?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Nope.
I don't know what happened.
Not helpful, Ahmed.
You fucking asshole.
Is it going to be that kind of game, Ahmed?
Yeah.
I sense that we're all a little
Yeah.
punchy, which is fun. you okay, Mark? How's it going? What went on in the last 2 weeks? Work?
Yeah. Yeah, I got my job transfer that I was awarded back in January finally came through. And my boss had the worst way of letting me know. I walked into work. He's like, "Hey, Mark, why don't you clear out your locker?"
Oh,
What?
shit.
Oh no, it's your last shift with us. Your transfer came through. Start with that, dude.
Start with congratulations.
Oh, fuck. Does that,
Let's start with
does that
Merry
mean you're not-
Christmas, get out.
Does that mean you're not dodging
couldn't stop
lava
that.
anymore?
Yeah, actually, coincidentally, couldn't have come at a better time because my wife did me a favor and did my laundry from the night before, and when I woke up for my night shift, she said, "Mark, why are there so many burn marks in your underwear?" Yeah. Because fire is hot.
It's literally burning your ass. Literally.
My biscuits are burning.
Let's go back to
all,
Ahmed.
like, it's-
Ahmed, how are you doing, man? Like, you
I'm good.
talk about Cade.
I've got new glasses.
Okay.
Going for the, mentioned it earlier, the sexy librarian look.
Mm-hmm.
They do kind of look like Bayonetta glasses, if I'm perfectly honest. They kind of look like Bayonetta glasses.
Yeah! Makes me see Kate better.
But to be clear, you look nothing like Bayonetta.
To be clear,
I'm prettier! Yeah!
you know the guy that follows Bayonetta around, like the little pudgy guy? That, like, Bayonetta's proportions are the opposite of Ahmed. Like, she's like 12 feet tall
She's not muscular.
and all legs. Closer to spider proportions, let's be honest.
Cool.
Yeah.
So Adam's got a tree, Ahmed's got glasses, and Mark's got a new gerb. Awesome.
Well, and apparently new underwear, or is asking for new underwear.
Yeah, she knows what she's getting him for Christmas, I guess.
She's good darn underwear. I don't even know if you can darn underwear, but it'll be darned.
Awesome. For me, it's just been work. Looking forward to a week off later this month.
Nice.
What else? Did some planning for this game. Had our staff party last night, so my voice is a little bit off. That's because I was yelling in loud bars.
Your parties are more fun than the parties that we had. We had like everybody eating at like a retirement home. Everybody eating chicken.
You're a staff party?
Our staff party was like over lunch, and
Ours was, we kind of got to this hall, we all expected to be fed, and they're like, appetizers and drinks, and the appetizers were like muffins and cupcakes. It was like, okay. So everyone decided they were going to go to a place to eat, but we went to two places and drank instead. So that was...
hungry beer,
Right.
instead of food.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I got some karaoke in, so that was good.
Nice.
Yeah. Why don't we do a recap of what happened last game? Because I can't remember.
It was fights.
So last game was the Conclave. We're going to go back to the Circus of Dread this week. But last game, Conclave, Mortal Kombat was what it was called. A strange crisis of fate among the adherents of the old gods rippled through Vatapole and perhaps beyond. Some receive strange visions, and many consider moving east. Zargon and Zed visit the hidden temple of Kozuth for guidance. Zargon and Zed do battle with a duo of knights in the arena.
Ahmed falls for trap.
Magnus is called out by a bloodthirsty lizard man.
It was super easy to do.
A former servant of Crixes while escorting his gladiators in the veins. Magnus agrees to an impromptu death match.
Eat a wang! Of course, screw you to the death. It's like it was real easy to do.
Hey,
That
you
was
Magnus, let's fight.
That was a very, very close fight. Later,
was
trolls
easy.
attack the Conclave gladiators whilst in the veins. I thought that fight was really fun because it was like 2 separate fights going on at the same time.
Oh, it was.
Magnus is yelling at them, "What are you doing?" He's like,
And Magnus
fighting
couldn't help
Arena.
them, because he was in the middle of a fight of his own. So, and money was on the line. Now, if we're going to go back to the Circus of Dread, we should probably do the recap of where we left off with them in Terra's Lean, or Citadel by the Lake, which you see on the map right now, with all the little tokens gathered around. I think they were in the middle of a dinner, or at the end of a dinner. Game 8 was called Blood in the Water. The circus gladiators train in the lake for an upcoming log and lake running match. While they are training, Sam aggravates a local and much beloved monster and her children.
I refuse to take responsibility for this. It's what they it was a fish.
Things escalate quickly, resulting in an unfortunate death. Resulting in an unfortunate death at the hands of one of the gladiators. Tensions run high, and the case is to be made before the magistrate of the Citadel of the Lake. Grizaak spies upon the fugitive gladiator to find that he has been cursed by the Storm Priest. The Circus of Dread travels to the Citadel and meets custodian Camus Vord, family friend of the Zanes and the Countess alike. Camus welcomes the parties and speaks of dire shadow magic that once again is starting to rear its ugly head. He sets some of them on their course to follow the shadow compass in hopes of finding the wayward priestess Zira, while others remain behind at Terra's Lean. So, I think we're going to start out with us in Terra's, the group in Terra's Lean. I'm going to move the group that went off. I think they were going to make a pit stop in an old ruined town where only a few inhabitants are, called Belheim. The people that were going were Zita, her brother Evander, and her cohort Callie, giant Nibbles, Grizaak, and then from the Circus of Dread, Radamer hears that the area is full of undead, and that piqued his interest. And then carrying the shadow artifacts is the illusionist warrior named Widget. So this group is basically leaving Terra's Lean on an adventure. while the others remain behind. Now, there are several reasons why they're remaining behind. Damian has an important legal case involving the stuff that happened at Lakeport Town, and then the gladiators from the Circus of Dread need their minimum number of fights by year's end, or by season end.
I'm pretty certain we fought a big fish and all the town was watching. That has to count. Has to count. No way it can't.
So let's just have a look at our wonderful spreadsheet. Why are so many tabs opening?
No.
Arlen, you're not doing it right. That one counted.
All right. So we've got the Circus of Dread. Ugg and Sam have had one fight apiece. And Edward has had one fight. And then you've got 2 empty slots that you need to fill before you have your next fight. So that either is calling up gladiators into your ranks, or calling up Grizaak and or Nibbles to fill those slots. They've already had their 3 fights for this season, so you'd require no more fights there. But I guess this is a decision that Arlen needs to make before you arrange your next fights. I think we left off with...
Here's a question.
Yep.
Can I buy more gladiators, have them in reserve, and then have them fight extra fights?
You can purchase gladiators and put them in your roster, sure.
And then have them, like...
I don't believe you're allowed to, unless you're a member of 2 different Ludi, I don't think you're allowed to fight against your own Ludi.
No. They wouldn't be the same Ludi. It would be against... Arlen wants to make some cash. Actual fights.
You could use money to convince gladiators to fight your gladiators, sure.
Okay, we'll get to that.
You want to have 2 Ludi?
No. No, I want to get...
He wants to hire gladiators to fight us, which is like paying another Ludi to fight you.
No. I want to hire more gladiators for next season, but I want to buy them now. And I see how they do. So I want to put them to start fighting now, but they won't be primaries. You understand?
Build a roster. Yeah, our bench is real lean.
We got nothing! Next in line is Arlen. Oh, shit.
Okay, so this is right after the dinner. I remember there was a group of you that ended up talking with Camus Vord about things to come, and some of you were going to stay while others were going to go. Those that were going to go have basically retired from the festivities, I guess, and are preparing for their journey, while others linger for a while. He had mentioned that there was somebody of the line of Mazethek's clan in the dungeon at this point in time.
Yeah, we're supposed to go down to see the...
So I think Sam and who is going to go down to check out the dungeon?
Sam wanted to see Rainbow Pony.
Got it. And Callie, I guess?
Rainbow Unicorn. Remember what? I think it was Rainbow Unicorn. We were told about. So yeah, but I'll have to go see the Rainbow Unicorn.
Are Zita or Zane or Zita Zane going?
You're not making sound, Mark?
Yeah, for some reason you're not making a lot of sound.
Zita is not going to go to... Okay. I'm going to reboot because my computer's doing funny things.
All right, we're done.
Give me a second to reboot. Can you hear me?
Yep.
We hear you now, but it's weird because the glowy light, the doo-doo-doo-doo-doo light isn't actually telling us when you're muted or not.
It's also your voice is behind your
Okay.
your video.
The voice behind the mark.
Randomly, the voice behind the mark.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I'm hoping it's not going to be me in a
Video?
second.
Yeah, I'm gonna reboot here. Something's going on.
All right, here we go.
Hey, randomly. Okay, give me a second.
Randomly.
Okay, so Marty.
Yeah. So why don't we make some decisions about your Ludus, Arlen, while we're waiting for Mark to reboot?
So
Because it'll be hard to introduce Mark's character.
yeah.
Especially that one. I have, like, what's the personality of that thing?
Of that thing.
It's friggin' what, like Sunshine from My Little Pony, like, or whatever I don't know what their names are, but
Don't ruin it. Not a surprise.
no, it's gotta be something.
And rainbow.
Wonderful is what I feel when we're together.
Yes, I see. So, Damian, do you know when Damian's not here? Oh, he's still here. Do you know when the...
Damian's pacing out in the hall, chatting with,
Okay.
who I guess he's out in the hall pacing, thinking about his trial. Arlen, you were left. Camus Vord excused himself for the evening, but he welcomed you to stay at the table and finish the drink and food, which sort of leaves, I guess, Sam, Ugg, and Arlen, and Edward. Yep.
No, so where are the others? Where's Grizaak and Grin and Nibbles and...
They've gone off because they're about to leave to go search for some shadow priest.
Okay, so one sec. He's gonna call for Zita actually. Sam, could you ask Zita to come here? How far are we? Are we away from this place? Because Arlen needs to speak with him. He can't. Arlen's gonna go speak with him. Wee, wee, squeak. Roll his ass down to them.
Okay. Well, they're off in the palace somewhere.
I need to find them before they leave.
They're not going that far. And don't you have the thing where you can just talk to them? Just use your talk to them thingy.
I haven't actually tried that here, and I need to set it up beforehand. It doesn't last all day.
Is
Sorry,
this
but
about
messenger.
our rosters? Who is coming up with us?
No, it's not. It's not just that. It's the Countess. The main purpose for us being here is to make sure that we find out about these items. So, what's the purpose of us being here? Just being gladiators and raising money? No,
The main
that's
purpose
not.
for us being here is to fight.
Yes, with the funds that we raise, we need to be able to find where they will be, to be able to reach them, so that we can provide support and materials and funds.
I
As
thought
we
that
make
we were
money.
up. I thought that we were up here to make it look like we are gladiating and not.
Oh, we will. We will continue to. We will continue our ludus here. We will
Do the
fight
P
here.
thing.
I'm sorry. What?
The P thing.
Yeah. Well,
We have
you
to
mean
look into the-
scrying? Yes, scrying. We will be able to do that, and hopefully find them. That's what I need to speak with Zita about. I need to be able to find them, and perhaps we can, through other magics, we can get them supplies, aid.
Well, you can do the P thing, right?
I don't need to. I could just do a mirror thing.
We can make sure that that we meet them before they leave in the morning.
Yes, I'd really like to do that. Also,
Wait. Yeah.
So
Right.
who is being called up? Are we calling up Sam?
1 second.
Oh no, Sam is already called up.
Sam's already called. So on a
I'm here.
our
Here.
front line, consists of Ugg, Sam, and you, Edward. The only one left would be me. To be
We just won a couple of guys. Why did Nibbles and...
yes,
dwarf.
but for this season, I will call them up as being primaries.
Yeah?
This season, I'll call them up as being primaries. Since they've already fulfilled their fights this season, we don't need to have any more. During this time, I will purchase 2 more gladiators and
Okay.
fill our ranks.
All right. So why are we here and not, like, a market? I mean, there's not many people around, but there's got to be somebody somewhere. What about the person in the thing?
They mentioned the dungeons, yes.
The person in the... Yeah. Let's...
Mazitek, Nazat. I'm not sure exactly. Is this? What is that creature anyway? Is anyone familiar with what it
Sam
was?
is just wheeling Arlen towards
The door's closed. The door's closed. Please look forward, Sam.
Well, all right. We need 2. We know there's one in there, and it's a maybe. So maybe we should wheel to like a market.
Well, yes. I
Hey,
believe-
you! Is there a market here?
Okay, so you hey you'd the really nervous stuttery wizard. Edward's like, oh. Yes, Samuel. He knows your name.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey,
Which, by the way, where are we?
You're
Citadel
the,
Lake Palace.
you're
Palace. All right, there we go.
the apprentice guy, right?
I am
Thank you.
faithful servant Jervis the Grey.
Yeah. So where do we buy? Do you have like a place where you can find like, gladiators to buy?
Sam, one moment, Sam. And Jervis, thank you. We're interested in finding out more about where we can purchase more gladiators, see them perform, and also see the dungeons. I heard there's an interesting one down there that we want to look at.
The
Gladiators.
goodness of Terra's Lean is we don't exactly sell slaves in the protectorate.
Well, they don't need to be slaves. They could be like just people with contracts.
Yes, I
Well, mercenaries, yes.
do believe that is partially the reason why Kama's ward mentioned that there was a prisoner.
Is there only one prisoner?
No. But
Yes!
you
Well,
might
that's what
be able to commute sentences to fight in gladiating contests.
What is this prisoner in the dungeons for?
A very long list of minor crimes and indecency.
Indecency sounds like fun.
Kama's ward would not have suggested any of the rebels.
Yeah, we don't need any crazy people.
All right.
The indecent
That's
What do you mean, the rebels? He kind of, like, looks like he doesn't want to be the one explaining this. Rebels against the Imperium, he says.
right.
There are several that are slated for the Survivor Games.
The Survivor Games.
What's a Survivor game?
It's horrible, dreadful, but I think this year at the year-end ceremonies they will put those criminals into the elven pocket dimension.
Elven.
You have a pocket dimension?
I think I have said too much already, is what he says.
Interesting.
Sam is like checking his pockets. He's like looking for pockets.
He was about to like explain why it's not right, but he kind of gets caught in his own stutter and.
Then let's make our way to the let's make our way to the dungeon. At least secure one gladiator.
Yes, I will be warned. This creature is very forward.
Can you do
All right.
like normal,
Forward is good.
like not Survivor Man games in the pocket dimension?
No. You need the 3 keys. But it is quite a spectacle.
Hey, Arlen, you should ask about playing in the pocket.
The coronel of old used to send the most vile criminals there to meet their demise.
What's is there like a monster in the pocket?
What kind of monster is it?
Several, he says. But I'm not supposed to talk about such things, he says.
Perhaps we'll speak with the wizard after this.
He looks horrified that you guys would be thinking that you'd want to go into the pocket dimension.
Well, no. First we have to do the waterfall.
Is it stupid? Let's fucking do it.
No. Waterfall one first, though, because
Yes, I think all the fights are a bit...
Yes, tomorrow I can introduce you to possible competitors.
We'll be really gentle.
Could we see the
We've been practicing.
the one in the dungeon now?
Yes, this way. Although we will not be seeing any of the rebels, they are off limits to visitors.
Of course. I wasn't thinking 1, 2, 3, 4. Shit, I'm down 1.
All right, so he brings you into the dungeons, which is actually a tower. Which one looks dungeony?
Mark, your head microphone is proper muted this time. Yeah, boy, it works.
There we go. There we go.
There we go. This one.
Music
This
is
one.
back.
This one's dungeony. So he brings you throughout the palace. Damian, you see that the wizard apprentice is bringing Arlen and others somewhere. Are you going with them?
Yeah, because otherwise he gets bored easily.
Okay.
Damian, we're looking for more gladiators.
Oh, good. Try to get one that's not a murderer this time.
We're going to the dungeon.
Well, we're actually going to get from the dungeon.
Don't worry, not a murderer, just indecent.
From what I heard, there's nothing as vile as murder, but we'll see, won't we?
Could you give me a D3?
well-
There are other people in Terrazline. It's just the palace itself it easily disguises.
large.
Yeah, it is quite large.
It's a very large place with not as many people as you would think.
Yep.
I rolled a 1.
Okay. Well, 1A. All right. This guy. So while you're navigating through the palace, there's a man that's actually walking towards all of you. Here comes arbiter Alemon. There's a very, very fair, almost white-haired, platinum blonde-haired elf in very austere-looking robes. It's like a gold chasuble, and he's got a book in his hands. He seemed to have been reading the book while he was slowly walking, and he sort of looks up. He goes, you're the visiting arbiters, are you not?
Greetings.
I think it's...
My name is Arlen, and this is my Ludus. This is Lieutenant Damian Van Imp.
What a peculiar accent you have, Arlen. Are you from Avasia?
No, actually I'm from much farther than that. I'm from Stygia.
We have a Stygian elf in our midst. Well, welcome, cousin.
Thank you.
You'll find that we do things a bit different around here. A lot less resisting.
Damian chuckles.
Duly noted.
Yes, and Lieutenant Van Imp. An important family name. Are you related to the Grand Marshal of Stygia?
He is my uncle.
Oh, well. I look forward to speaking to you further about this case of yours. I, of course, will be representing the priests of the lake.
Very well. I should note I will be filing paperwork that we will be seeking damages.
Damages? How very interesting. Perhaps you and I on the morrow should meet to discuss whether or not we could come to a deal before we drag this in front of 3 austere judges.
I think that would be wise. Certainly no use in wasting their time. It is quite precious after all.
Yes, and in my opinion, imperial law is actually quite clear in this matter. But you and I will discuss such ugly realities in the morrow.
Certainly. After breakfast, perhaps?
Yes, you're
10
staying.
bells?
You're staying in the foreigners' wing, are you not?
Yes, I am.
I shall meet you there. There is a nice peacock garden that I often take my books to read.
Sounds charming.
Arlen, it was a pleasure. I look forward to seeing your gladiators fight. They are not actually his gladiators. Well, he's an acting. Lannister?
Correct.
Perhaps you have learned a trick or two since you've arrived from Stygia. And he bows deeply to you.
I bow as much as I am
He
allowed
nods to Damian and doesn't regard any of the other people that are there.
See that?
Damian
you
gives him a nod.
Yep.
They're gonna go to the cock garden at 10.
You are a child, aren't you?
Arlen's chuckling. There is beauty in his innocence.
I'm only like 6 months old. Give me a break.
That's true.
From the ass of babes, says Edward. You do not have any children, do you, Arlen?
No.
Let's not get you fried with the electricity again, or, you lose any more, it'll be a problem.
You're saying I should get on it? Yeah, good luck with that, yeah?
Children are messy, says Edward.
Plus, there's all that chasing them around. Oops. Sorry.
Well, as long as it's downhill, I'm pretty sure I'll catch
Wait,
him.
you have kids? I have 2. I have not seen them in a very long time, says Edward.
Yeah, Edward.
Oh, they're like
Arlen looks at him.
like,
Do you have any of their things?
No, the Imperials that captured me and labeled me a
Provocateur.
They were just jealous of your accent.
They did not let me keep many things. It was a chaotic time. I changed hands from Caravel, got mixed up with pirates. They thought I was a pirate. They took all of my things. But
Yes,
one day
it
I will
seems
go
you
back.
gladiators get a lot of things mixed up, don't you?
Perhaps we can use the
Have you-
scrying.
Have you ever traveled east? It is chaos out there. The Imperium isn't all safe and snug and warm and happy and orderly.
Well, that's because you resist.
I resist
Simply-
became a gladiator or a slave. Would you not?
Well, you wouldn't be a gladiator or a slave if you didn't resist, now would you?
Perhaps. But there is a lot of asshole out there.
Hey, there's assholes to go around.
Is this conversation turning towards buggery? Because I can leave.
Jervis the Grey has already walked ahead and he's turned around and he's waiting for you
Yes,
guys.
I'm
Yeah.
following, yes.
He brings you to the prison. You get that it's like lightly monitored. When you see this strange creature galloping around outside of the prison doors or the confines of the cells, and let me put, what is it called, Mark?
Mr. Prancy Pants.
Mr. Prancy Pants. Okay. Did I create tokens for these things?
I don't know. I don't think you did. to
In
be honest.
line with the previous cock garden and buggery.
All right, so
Oh, my.
let's have a look. This is under Conclave or Circus?
Under Circus, yeah.
Okay. Mr. Prancy Pants. No, I did not create a token for that. Let me do that now.
Did you not think it was real?
No, he can't be playing that shit.
I think there was in my mind like sort of I was gonna have I planned on having a conversation just to check in with Mark. Are you sure?
Maybe turns into not just a troll. I think it's an awesome character.
I told you I could make it work.
Right. This was the random courtier that we or courtesan that we that we rolled up.
The courtesan goblin.
A courtesan goblin. It was like, what the fuck? All right. So this is Mr. Prancy Pants. Prancy Pants. I can't believe I've said that word 3 times already. Is it medium or large?
It's medium.
Okay. So there's Mr. Prancy Pants. It is a kind of a dancing goat llama thing with a unicorn horn and white fluffy wings, and it's kind of like prancing around.
Zoom in more so you can see it.
Prancing around outside of a cell. Is it in a good mood, Mark?
Yes, because she's going, dance for me, dance! That's it, Mr. Prancy Pants. Make me smile.
I know exactly what personality it is.
What are you doing?
It's like the Brooklyn grandma. That's what this is.
All right.
It's an old lady from Brooklyn. And there, sweetie, out there, come on.
Oh my goodness. All right. So this character's name is Godiva.
Yes.
A guard lets you in, and you notice that the guard, the guard has like smooch marks from lipstick on the side of his helmet. And the guard's like looking scared, like you don't want to go in there. And let's put Godiva into here.
Hi, sweetie. Look at that.
It's from Gremlins or something.
I do
Gremlins.
believe that this creature is a summoner of sorts, says Jervis.
You don't say.
Hey, look at that! Sam's going to approach the fuzzy llama thing.
Okay.
Without Arlen. Whoa, it breaks.
Without Arlen. Hey, ain't that the damnedest thing?
What is Prancy Pants doing?
He's doing like a little dance, like prancing around and flapping its wings,
Okay.
trying to entertain Godiva, who's in the window.
Are you trying to pet it?
Mama loves you. Keep dancing.
Yeah, Sam
You
wants
stay
to...
away from my baby.
Does it bite?
Sometimes, but only if you earn it.
Sam's going to try to pet it.
Arlen is looking at what's his name? Grizaak, and thinking like, is he putting me on?
No, he's
like,
it is a very rude creature.
It bows its head for a second as you approach. If you come out with your hand out.
Yep, handout.
this is all Arlen's doing.
It got into further trouble when it tried to solicit one of the judges during a trial.
Well, we're nothing
he
if not
wanted it.
entertaining.
He wanted it. Han, I thought you said you didn't want to be on the internet. The llama corn is fine, Han, I promise you. You'll be nice, Mr. Prancy Pants. The big, muscly hunk of man there. You'll be nice to you, won't you, mister?
Yeah, I think so. Arlen is making decisions, but check this. This thing is really like it's fluffy. Who's a fluffy? Who's a fluffy?
Does that like a shake?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
dogs do?
Is it smart?
Us in 7.
Okay. So
Oh, it might feel condescended to.
Smarter than Cade.
or might enjoy the attention. Yep.
Yep.
You do notice that could probably go airborne. As it was prancing around, it was getting enough lift from its wings. It's very springy. When you pet it, it's pretty strong. What is Sam's strength?
Sam's strength is like an 18 or a 20. A second. Circus. Sam's strength is... Sorry, I've got...
It's Gremlins too, isn't it?
18.
Okay, when it kind of head-butted back as you were petting it, it's probably stronger than you.
Yeah.
Like there's some muscles in its calves. It's always prancing and bouncing. But it's a bit odd as well. There's a weird it's a weird color. It doesn't seem to. Do these things breathe?
I think so.
What are their type? They're outsiders.
They're outsiders. They're like a special outsider.
Well, I guess it breathes then. There's just something really odd about it.
I believe Sam has knowledge planes.
Yeah.
There's I don't know if you can see the goblin at this point, but
Yeah, you can see a frock of green hair through the small opening in the bars to the cell.
there would be like an arcane thing near her forehead. That someone with knowledge arcana might be able to identify as someone who summons.
27 on the knowledge planes for what is the
That
Lamacorn?
might do it too.
Oh, yeah, you heard the word summoner, and you understand that summoners can conjure creatures that are kind of like an extension of themselves called eidolons.
Oh, this is a fluffy, fuzzy eidolon with a unicorn horn. Hey, ma'am, you've got a nice fluffy eidolon. Strong too.
I know, he's gorgeous, isn't he? My gorgeous little baby.
You know, as it comes...
You're horrible, man.
The creature goes up and like receives a pet from a like a little clawed hand. The hand looks like its nails were painted.
Yes. Bright red.
That's where Arlen wheels up. A little bit behind Sam. Greetings.
Oh, what
is-
happened to your legs?
Yes,
So sad.
it's an unfortunate incident. I've gotten accustomed to it. I'm quite well.
So Sam is feeling rather comfortable, and he's confused as to why Arlen is like hiding in the back. So he's going to just wheel Arlen up to the.
Well, this
I'm
is
in the way.
happening. This is happening.
Well, at least nothing happened to that handsome face of yours.
Thank you, man. What do I call you? What's your name?
My name is Godiva. Honey.
This character's getting Mark into trouble.
Tell her Ahmed approves.
That's not gonna help.
Oh, fuck. Oh, God. Whew. I don't know how we're going to do this character. Oh my goodness. Oh, Mark. Random rolls, man. No one could ever accuse Mark of not rolling with the punches.
Rolling with the rolls.
Can't make this shit up.
Oh, fuck.
Only the dice.
Oh.
Farscape character.
You just don't go unconscious around the character.
Nigel's like squeeze would be this character.
Oh, goodness. It's too good.
All I can see now, but honey. It's just a character. I'm not objectifying anyone.
And then Mark's muted and off camera debating.
Oh, see his blood getting splattered across the back. Oh, he's going down.
Oh, funny.
One moment, Godiva. One moment. I'm processing this. Llama corn. Yeah.
Yeah, it's it's she makes it.
I get it.
I need apple slices.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, he's back.
Oh, he's back.
Somewhat. Nope. Yep. How's your diplomacy?
Seconds, right?
Oh, diplomacy's failing.
Apple slices it is.
He ain't rolling too well.
You have to spend at least a minute before you can make your diplomacy check. So.
Mm-hmm.
Listen,
Back to what Grizaak is doing.
Right. We can go there. The group of you were getting ready for to sleep.
Yep.
Grizaak, what can we expect along this road? Radamer actually stops Grizaak. Remember, Radamer doesn't like Grizaak too much. He's not expecting a very eloquent answer.
A lot of dirt and trees, I guess.
I mean with undead.
Whoa. Marty, does Grizaak know anything about this, or is he completely at the zero here?
What are your skills? Do you have knowledge local? Do you have knowledge?
Give me a sec.
Religion?
Days of Doom. Let's give you the Grizaak. Grizaak has got many things that are useless to you. I've got knowledge. Nature, Arcana.
I'm looking for history, religion, or local.
Nope. Sorry.
Okay, an int check.
It's not as greatest quality. 14.
You remember that there was some battlefield long ago. It was between the elves and the humans, and people avoid that area. You think it's around here somewhere.
There's this area. It's a battlefield, long time ago. Or the elves and the humans, they went at each other, and everybody kind of avoids that area. I honestly don't remember why, but it's got to be a reason. So
We are in a highly magical place. I would guess that in days of old they had many implements of war that were magical. Magics on battlefields have ways of going wrong.
that sucks.
And having lasting impact upon the world and those around it. You remember the skeleton-infested area? The ghoul hole? Oh, actually, no, you weren't there. We crossed a skeleton-infested...
scary!
skeleton-infested area and a ghoul hole on the way here. Perhaps I will speak to some of the elves who may remember better than you.
We probably should get a map too, because
Yes, I agree.
now navigating our asses out there, and I mean, you guys got stuff to do. I can't remember what it is half the time, so that might help.
Would you like me to ask the elf woman, or shall you?
I mean, goblin, right? It's all right. It's all right. Yeah, go ahead, Radamer.
He just exhales and
That's a good boy. That's a good boy.
he like pauses and just visibly like
He's
like chafing underneath that comment, you calling him a boy, but I guess he sort of lets that happen.
he's hundreds of years younger than I am.
Yep, that's true. Widget, you overheard their conversation.
I'll have some licorice for you when you come back.
Widget would like some licorice, but that is beside the point.
Where did I get this from all of a
Widget,
sudden?
Widget will follow Radamer.
Yep. Why the spirits want him is beyond me.
Yeah, maybe you don't want to be wanted by the spirits, because if they do to you what they did to him...
He was already like that.
it's
Nobody knows this.
Point taken.
yeah, sometimes it's not good to be the tall nail, you know?
He knocks on the door. Evander's hair opened the door when he was standing like 5 feet away from it. Radamer pauses. He waits for Evander. Evander waits for him to speak, and there's this like there's this like long pause of weird politeness.
So where do you get your hair done?
He just like
We would like to talk to your sister. We need a map. We didn't know what we need to sort of
he
map
actually
out.
steps outside of the domicile, and his hair closes the door behind it. My sister is indisposed. A map, yes. Let's go find one.
All right, then.
His hair kind of flicks at your hat as it goes by, like it's got its own...
So when you have a bad hair day, does it, like, try to actually kill you?
You don't want to be around me on those days.
I agree.
Radamer finds this type of conversation really droll. And the group of you goes and tries to find a map. Give me a diplomacy check. Or how are you finding? Are you actually trying to search for a map? Or are you asking people for a map? Or
Hey, where did I find a map?
all right, who's going to lead this diplomacy gang?
I think Widget.
Radamer might surprisingly have a lot of diplomacy.
Okay.
We
Sorry
paused,
about that, gentlemen.
we paused for a second.
My
on that
wife
one.
insisted that she has a bond with Mr. Prancy Pants, and she saw the token or the picture I created,
Yep.
to the point that she actually bought this,
Oh!
and it is named Mr. Prancy Pants.
Alrighty.
So Marty,
Yep.
apparently, if you do anything bad to Mr. Prancy Pants, she's gonna fly to Seattle and find you.
Eidolons come back when they die.
They-
so
Yes, I explained that to her. She doesn't care.
all right, well that's on you, man.
Look with that.
I'm just gonna bring back Mr. Prancy Pants, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
Uh,
You can't threaten me.
normally when my wife wants to, like, she tries to threaten you through me, when it's like, don't you hurt Gel!
Right, don't you
Like-
hurt the biggest,
Well,
baddest character in the campaign.
Well,
right?
exactly. It's one of those. By that point, it's like he really can't, because if he did, he'd wiped out everybody else. All right,
Radamer's
so
got a plus 16.
Okay, then I will aid Radamer.
Okay. 26 with aids. Yeah, that evening you end up finding some archives, and I'm going to switch the map to the world map of Tarak, as you guys see it. And we can point out some geography. So what do we got here? We've got, you guys are at Citadel by the lake, overlooking the pristine reservoir, and the Lake of Springs, which is downstream. They are saying that you should stop off in Belheim while you are near. Now, near is you are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hexes away, so 10 days away. From Belheim. It was a 10-day trek, remember, from Terrazline to Belheim in the 2E campaign. You find a map that basically shows you this, all the way up north to a land called Tebron. It shows you to the east lie the twin mounts of Avicea and the Great Vastwood. To the west, we've got Nurlasant, the Call Hills, and then Vin Vossa and Princeport, which is
where's the town where Renee was?
Belheim.
Belheim.
Oh, crap, was it? Oh. That's pretty goddamn close.
You know that Renee took up residence in the Hunclay Manor, and hasn't really wandered very far from that vicinity in a very long time.
That he's totally just a human.
You also know that Renee was sick. He got sick a lot, and spent a lot of time kind of holed up in the manor and staring at the moon and the stars.
Poor Renee. He probably died with his face stuck in the windowsill looking up the moon. Poor bastard. Let's go find this corpse. Sure the guy made a lot of good stuff.
Who is Renee, and why do we care, says Radamer.
Or is he still alive? Fuck. Damn it, Grizaak.
All right, so if I can remember my Grizaak to any other sort of Renee is a
He's a friend of Zira.
Is he a dwarf or a goblin or what is he?
Human.
Nibbles. You remember, this is perfect. So he's a real human, not one of these sort of like say the wrong thing because you
Nibbles, you're gonna confuse the shit out of him. What's wrong with you?
Grizaak. Sometimes.
So, all right. Now, if he's a human and he's 500 years old, or 400 years old, 300 years old,
Yeah, he'll probably be 3 hours. It's a lot.
you get reincarnated.
Uh-huh.
He's insane.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Renee is
Sick.
Very sick. Very sick. Yes.
If you're still kicking at 500 as a human, sure.
The story goes he was my great aunt and grandmother's squire, manservant, bodyguard, says Evander.
Yeah, he hung around Zira a lot.
Is he some sort of wizard?
No, he just put on the big, thick, heavy armor, and he had a sword. He also had a spirit in him.
He was a
pretty
blacksmith
messed
or
up.
something, says Evander.
It fights very good. It fights very good, yes.
Although it would be interesting to find out how he lived so long.
That'd be a good question. I'm interested in that.
Radamer seems to be interested in that as well.
I'm gonna bring up a little point here. I don't have any wands to heal you bastards.
I see.
Oh.
Might want to get that quick before we leave.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
All right, chop chop. Grandpa Grizaak's gonna wait for you right here.
I have some healing magic, not to the extent of a...
I'll get ready. I'll
Is
prepare
that
a
Zita
lot.
coming over?
Zita, yeah.
Yeah, they brought back a map, and they're kind of in a common area looking at this map of this part of Tarak. Or specifically this part of Avicea, the continent.
Well, before we head out, we'll make certain we grab us something. Or maybe Arlen has something.
Oh, yeah. Weird goblin.
I have a wand, says Radamer.
I mean,
All right, it's
between-
good. You keep it.
You're a priest, you're a druid, you're a bard. Got quite a bit of healing go around.
Yeah, I'd still like to have that wand kicking around.
Alright, so if we're going to alright, so let's start. How good is this map?
This map, it was the best one that you guys could find.
Alright, so if we use the compass here, we should be able to get a sort of a trajectory, a line, and then if we go to Belheim, that's basically west of here. So it's almost perfect for triangulating if it's north of where we're going. So it's kind of in the direction we want to go to sort of figure out where we're going, because if we go in a straight line all along a line, we don't get a new line to match up with the line.
Are you going to be able to use the compass periodically?
Sure.
Are you gonna get hurt? You want me to prepare stuff to make sure you don't get hurt?
Well, one of the things I was trying to,
Yes or no?
There's that book, and if I read that book, it should prepare my mind a little bit better for these things.
That's a yes.
I just noticed Roger's feral token again.
On the map of Terrazine?
Yeah.
Or...
Yeah,
Or
a skull on
Tarak.
his head.
Tarak,
Oh,
yeah,
it's
that's
gold.
right, He's off having a great old time.
The bow tie.
So
Kill people.
I can use it periodically, although if I can get into that book, I can use it more frequently.
So I will prepare something to make you unfucked.
Dude, was druids even have that?
I don't know. Nah, we'll see. Either that or you get hit with lightning. I don't know. You'll be fine.
No, I can use it once every couple of days. Should be alright.
I can
handle it.
restore it.
I can handle it.
There we go.
By the powers vested in me by Ouijas.
Sorry. Sorry. Don't mind me.
You do not need to rely on this druid.
It's all magic to me.
Now, as for the lock, we need to find someone that can undo an arcane lock, as well as the complicated locking device. I have
Yes.
looked at the book. It is beyond my power at this point. I think you need to be a higher level caster with a knock spell, or is it caster level check?
I think it's a caster level.
Caster
check.
level
I'll
check.
look it up.
I was trying to buy a Nox scroll in the other town, but there's a problem, and that was us getting kicked out of town.
If used on an arcane lock door, the spell does not remove arcane lock, but suspends its function for 10 minutes.
Okay, well, you could probably buy one here. This is while it's a smaller place, it is a highly magical place, with its own functioning mythal and
Yeah.
some markets that have minor scrolls. I think we said already, like any Any
Okay, it's-
core rulebook spell, 3rd or less, probably 4th or less in this town easily.
Okay. So
There's a caster level check, sorry for the knock spell, against the DC of the lock with a +10 bonus
to unlock the lock.
to unlock the lock.
Like so, when you cast it, it dispels the arcane lock, which reduces the DC
Yeah.
to 10, and then you roll against the lock. To
open it, yeah.
So Widget will pay for the scroll, and well, so what's the cost of the scroll plus ink? And then we'll just pay the ink twice, once for Radamer, once for Widget.
Sure. There is a sheet in meta, but I can look it up. Meta game scroll and summary. 150 gold pieces for the scroll, 40 per ink, so 40 twice is 230
Okay.
plus the scroll.
Okay. Widget just pays for all of it.
Okay. Basically, then you need to make a spellcraft check to learn it. We could go ahead and make these rolls now. Like this will represent time on the road studying this spell. The DC would be 15 plus spell level, so DC 17 spellcraft check to learn it. Radamer automatically makes that.
Well, some of us aren't geared up that way.
Not that kind of wizard, huh? Frustrating, isn't it?
26. We're good.
Okay, cool. Radamer is perfectly fine with teaming up on this type of stuff, and you notice that he is quite actually brilliant.
Some of us have slightly more practical gifts, like. No, it's what I'm gonna need. I'm assuming casters understand other people being more powerful casters than them.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm hoping he's gonna help me just pound on this book with spells until the DC's 30 with the lock.
Yeah, you did catch a look at his book. It does look like Radamer does have 4th circle spells, but nothing higher than that.
So we're similar power.
Yep.
The DC, this book, it had an amazing lock on it.
Yep.
Here, let me just check with the DC.
None of you are rogues, right? I don't think there's a rogue in the party.
There's a Grinthark we gotta go find.
There's a Grinthark and there's a Renee.
Oh. Yeah, Grizaak remembers that he's really good with metal things and tricky things. Like, you do remember your friend Renee.
Yeah, he's a tricksy guy. Poor Renee.
Just something about... it's not called an amazing lock now, it's called a superior lock. Bite me. Okay, so they're DC 40, so the caster level check with a plus 10 would be 30. Caster level 10 is required to do this with a spell.
I'm seeing on the website still amazing, so that's interesting. But they did copy pasta from a different source, the lock descriptions. So.
Right now, yeah, I'm looking at the website and it says simple, average, good, superior.
Under craft?
Under the purchasing the item.
Oh, weird. Get it straight, Paizo! Get it straight!
If you change the nomenclature...
Okay, so it sounds like you're going to work on this on the road, and it also sounds like you don't have the skills quite yet to open up that particular lock.
Nope.
Okay, you got a piece of the puzzle though. That's good.
Yep.
Let's go back. Let's go back to the scene at the prison. I think we got all that out of our system. What are Sam and Arlen saying to Godiva?
Right, sorry, it took me a second there. So, Godiva, I've noticed that you're, well, in prison. It's not the best place, especially not for a woman of your caliber. I noticed that there's a lot of charges here up against you, and I would be interested in knowing if you would like to consider being a gladiator. We would do our best to remove these... Well, we'll try to get you out. and get you to fight with us. What say you? Of course, I'm very friendly with my gladiators. I make sure that they're well taken care of. I do not wish for any death matches. And I care for your well-being. What do you say to this?
Gladiator, Arlen, is that really what you want me for?
Well, touche.
Oh, I'll touche you all over.
Oh, all right. This is quite enough. Quite enough, please. You can't really get a rise out of me, because...
Oh, I bet I could. Just keying him up there, aren't you?
Should I be in another room?
Stick me with you. Also, there's something I wanted to note. You're a... Your ancestor. The name is very familiar to us. Azatag, I believe.
Oh, Mazathek, yes.
Mazathek, correct. Thank you. I apologize for not knowing the correct name.
Yes, he had a unique view among goblins that we should make ourselves conform to the superior, more civilized races.
Well,
That's why I'm covered in beauty and not mud.
and beauty it is indeed. I would like to see.
Have fun with this when Mark's not at the table, Marty.
Enjoy.
I would like to see you at our side. Part of our ludus. Please consider it. I do not want to force you into such an opinion. I don't want to back you against the wall and have you, everything's coming out wrong, isn't it? I'm just going to let you think about it. I'm going to start wheeling myself out and let you think about it and just...
I don't know if it's coming out right or coming out wrong, Arlen, but it's coming out.
I'll be back in the morrow. Please consider it.
Oh, I'll be thinking of you.
No! No!
I'll be thinking of you in my dreams tonight.
I can't hear you!
Give him kisses for me, baby. Mr. Prancy Pants comes flying down next to you and licks your face.
I'll be going now, please. Thank you. Anyone?
Ugg and Edward share befuddled looks.
Sam is just
I don't
give
feel
them a
very
reassuring
clean.
nod. Yeah, this is perfect.
He's breastfeeding himself.
So yeah, I like her, although a little weird.
As you could see, due to the numerous minor offenses, we felt it best to keep her behind bars, but we're really not sure what to do with her. She is a summoner, and people do enjoy watching summoned creatures fight.
Yes.
Perhaps her different nature might entertain people in the human capital of Vadapol.
I think she'd be a hit in Fallen Stone with all the goblins there.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
How was she physically?
Yeah, hard to tell between the little bars. Like, she kind of popped up a little bit to
Okay.
give kissy faces, and she had nails, but hard to tell.
Yeah.
She had a strong Eidolon. Sam has, with his role previously, probably gets the idea that the more powerful summoner you are, the better your Eidolon is. And this thing seemed to have some natural oomph to it. So even if she was a weakling, she can summon creatures.
Well, it's one of those, like, do you always see that at matches where she sits on the sidelines and summons things in?
You haven't seen many of those in Vatapole, so Sam doesn't quite know.
Well, no, we were in fights like that's how,
Along the
Boyo-
way, yes. Along the way,
we've
when you
seen
got
that as a
Unwind,
fighting style.
yes. It's not that very popular in Vatapole, but it could be popular in other places.
How bad could it be?
Yes, I simply let me know when I can file the paperwork. The judges may wish to speak to the acting Lannister and Lieutenant Damian here.
It's okay, Arlen. You can just admit you're lonely.
Make sure you're lonely.
Are you quite sure, Arlen, that that creature is something you want joining your merry little band? I can foresee myself going to court frequently for that thing.
Well, I hope
Various
hopefully not.
reasons.
Hopefully not. How many gladiators do you see here?
I understand your predicament.
Unless we
Still.
find others, I'm likely going to be in the ring. Unless you want to step up and be one of the gladiators, but I doubt the lieutenant would do that.
I don't think she's going to shoot anybody in the back of the head.
All right, we're going to stop with that talk right now till the trial's over, shall we?
Jervis is like,
It was in self-defense. We were all there. We all saw it. It's quite unfortunate.
if you do not mind, I will escort you back to your chambers and see you in the morning.
Yes, of course.
Bye,
Thank you.
llama. Bye, lady.
Bye, sugar.
Okay, Jervis escorts you guys back to your suites. The next morning before...
Can we speak with him that night? Arlen wants to go speak with Zita and Grizaak and the bunch. Zita, really.
Okay.
Okay.
Evening. Knock, knock, knock.
So you're going to the Zane apartments? Okay.
Yes. Oh, I'm in the wrong map again.
Yeah.
You you catch Callie kind of napping outside where her bags are packed and ready to go.
Sam's just going to sort of like lay down beside.
Yep. She's like, oh, I was trying to wait up for you. She says.
Yep.
I was,
Here now.
I was sneaking in a bit of a reverie. She says.
Yeah. You should see the llamacorn. It's pink. It's got wings.
The what? She says, and she punches you in the shoulder.
It's like a horse, but fluffy like a sheep, with a unicorn horn and wings.
Oh, I missed it. She says.
Well, she the owner lady, the summoner, she really likes Arlen, so I think Arlen's gonna get her out, and then she'll be with us, and then you'll be there all the time, and then Arlen won't be so lonely.
She nods and says, "It's gonna be a long time before I see you. It's like a 10-day walk to this Belheim place, and then who knows where we're going after that."
Well, Arlen's got the P spell too, so we can then like look, and then we can talk.
No, he doesn't.
She's laughing at your joke.
No, he doesn't.
She then, while laughing, is pulling Sam into Sam's suite, and they close the door. Arlen knocks on, goes all the way down to where the Zanes have their quarters, which is not in the.
Is Callie staying?
No, she's going with the.
Wait, that's a stupid question. Never mind. I remember Zita was talking with somebody saying you can use our apartment, and I don't know who that was.
Oh, you are letting her stay. Okay.
No, she was very specific. Callie can stay in the apartment.
Nope.
No, that's I thought I was trying. So Callie is staying. Would she like to fight?
No. Callie
Damn
can
it!
stay in the apartment.
Oh, okay. You're letting your cohort
she
stay.
wanted to.
She doesn't want to. You don't want her on the adventure, or
No. When she said Callie can stay in the apartment, she can stay in the apartment while we're here.
oh, okay.
She's traveling with you.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah, but at that point there was discussions of either way as we were negotiating. So, yeah.
Okay. There's a knock at Zita's door. Evander's like, these lesser creatures never let us get our rest.
Agreed.
Scurrying and scuttling.
Well, they live
Although,
so-
I think this one wheels.
Don't make fun. I'll get the door. She gets up and gets the door. Arlen.
Evening, Zita. I apologize for coming so late.
Always a pleasure.
Indeed. I wanted to discuss something with you before you all left.
The,
Excuse me, something in my throat.
the
So-
morning is another day.
Indeed, but I wanted to discuss this now because I'm not sure if it might maybe give you something to think about.
Would
The
you
reason-
like to come in?
Sure, that's fine. I'll wheel in.
Evander, like, smiles a little bit.
The reason that we do what we do is because we
Can I
want
get
to
you
make
something to drink, Arlen?
I'm
Some
fine.
wine?
Thank you, Zita.
He's been
do want
around
to discuss
humans
this.
too long.
He rushes so much. She pours you some wine, whether you said yes or no. I think you'll
This is
find
the most
this a
broken
delicious
Lannister ever.
dish.
He's like, I gotta hate everybody.
It's because you're lonely.
Zita. You will be traveling tomorrow, correct? With the Grizaak and the rest of your companions.
Yes, that is correct.
So the reason that we have come up here was to make sure that you reach your destination, find your information, and continue on your journey. What I plan on doing is to continue providing you with support. I will continue to run the Ludus as a Lannister and run fights and continue to make funds. These I can send to you along with support if you need, if you're going to fight, if you have a challenge or anything, we can stay in touch using the scry spells that the Grizaak has. I believe I understand how it works. I just need a little bit of knowledge before I can figure it
Yes.
out myself.
We can use message spells through the scry.
Correct.
You put it that way.
Until I'm able to figure it out, you can use the Grizaak to do that, and I'm also trying to figure out how to travel long distances over space using magics. But once that is figured out, we'll be able to provide you with gladiators and funds and other resources. Sorry.
It's very generous of you, Arlen. Thank you.
Have you learned High Elven, Zita?
No.
Okay. Your brother said something to you in High Elven.
In my defense as a player, I didn't know High Elven was a thing.
Okay,
That's
go
what I
ahead.
would
You could switch out a language if you
Swap
want.
out a language.
Yep.
I'll do that. Then.
Arlen, they speak in Elven. It sounds Elven, but you don't understand what they're saying. Give me a linguistics check. Perhaps you might get a gist.
Natural 1.
You thought for a moment that, like there was ringing in your ears or something, like you yawned or your ear popped or like, what was it? He says to, should I tell him, sister, that I've recently learned teleport?
No, he's going to want us to move him around. He's in a wheelchair all the time. Oh, fine. In case of an emergency. Sure.
If there's an emergency, Arlen, I can teleport. Of course, I've never been to this Belheim place.
No, well, I believe that Grizaak can get you there, but that's excellent.
Teleporting inside the mythal is also taxing.
Yes, I want to speak with what was his name? I want to speak with the custodian regarding that.
The arrival room is where everyone ends up who tries to teleport here.
He didn't.
No, because he is the custodian.
Hmm.
Now, brother, he was not raised here and does not understand the intricacies of the mythal.
If you require our assistance, just teleport to us and we'll do what we can.
Well, let us hope we do not come into such dire circumstances.
Yes, then you should acquaint yourself with the arrival room.
I'll find it.
It's a large chamber. There's a spire there. The spire is the lodestone to the local teleports. Fueled by the mythal, of course.
Interesting. I'll go and find it. Thank you, Evander. Zita.
Are you wearing out in the open that weird mythal token that you have, or you have it kind of like stuck away somewhere?
It's hidden.
Okay. Even we don't have the tokens.
It must be quite valuable.
Perhaps our aunt has one.
Would not surprise me. She was supposed to be quite remarkable.
Do you know how many there are? Different types?
Yes, important people from long ago, and the coronel graced us with his presence. They had tokens, different families, different positions of power.
I see.
Maybe that sticky-fingered Grinthok has one.
Let's hope so.
I always enjoyed hearing about Grinthok stories.
Yes, they were always quite entertaining. Though I imagine they make entertaining stories for children, less entertaining for those actually dealing with him.
This is the Grinthok, yes?
Yes,
Yes.
he is some sort of elf, but he's blue.
Just
I
according
remember-
to Grizaak.
No, this is actually a story.
Ah,
Our aunt told us about Grinthok and how he may have had a connection to the Feywild.
well, I'd love to meet him one day.
Hopefully you will.
Keep your purse strings drawn tight and your valuables secreted away.
Good advice. Reminds... Oh, yeah, no, wrong character.
Maybe Renee knows where he is, given that Grizaak is all... His hair did the loopy-loop. Befuddled.
Thank you for the wine, which he didn't touch. I apologize for coming in so late. Have a great evening.
It's quite alright.
Evander's hair makes a wave, which then has an unseen servant close the door behind you, and the door closed just kind of like a tad subtly too rude, because like too close to you as you were going out. Didn't quite touch you, but you felt the air against your back.
Felt the wind.
I kinda hate these guys.
Evander's very protective of your sister, and he does see how you look at her.
Arlen has no interest in her.
He sees
I was with the human flying over the city.
he sees things that perhaps are not there.
Cool.
He's overprotective.
Yep.
Don't worry, you're picking up your courtesan shortly.
Yeah, great.
Michigan.
In the morning, Damian is up early, does his exercises, like, 'cause he's a swashbuckler.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he
Yeah.
does calisthenics
Oh, yeah,
or
yeah.
sparring, or you spar with a bunch of priceless vases or something that morning. And then you go to the peacock garden. Let's see.
He brings all his paperwork and stuff with him.
I'm assuming the practice with the vases is actually not hitting them, but going through like little handles.
Yeah, little handles
Yeah.
and things.
He's like, he's done? Ah, perfect. He's like, turns around, goes, breaks them all.
Ah, I'm rich.
The garden is on the far side of the palace, and you're pretty sure that
This was intentional.
this was intentional. You have to go all the way down and then back up, and then you end up near the court. It may not have been a courthouse, or it may have been sort of like a some sort of audience chamber for the coronel that has been turned into a courthouse. He isn't quite there when you arrive, which gives you a chance to look at some of the art in the just outside the courthouse.
Yeah, he's cool with that.
There is a particular. Do you speak Elven?
Yes, he does.
There is a particular rhyme and a beautiful like fresco painting on the roof of this chamber, and it's like there's a porthole or a portal that leads to a world where the plant life is very vibrant and filled with strange neon glowing colors, like not normal plants and animals.
Okay,
Everything is swirling with color and kind of creepy, and there are things stalking what look like a frightened looking elf. No, the elf is brave, and there's the spirit of some elf that's kind of right behind him. And he's shining light into this realm, and it looks like the creatures, he doesn't quite know what they are yet. One of the creatures is this really strange, creepy-looking bird. The other is this really large, burly, four-armed thing. And then the last one is a terrible depiction of, oh, I don't know, some sort of, like, vulture dragon. And there's an inscription written in Elven on this kind of like stylized bronze scroll. Like it's not actually a scroll, it's like a statue, and the inscription is written on it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to read the inscription for you. Through gyre and thistle the hunter did bristle, his nerves bordered on frayed. As wrath did stalk, his mind did balk, at the sound the creature did made. The burble and crunch, the whiffing gave hunch, that the manxome foe was near, and the long ago sound of a father's concern in his mind he did now hear. Beware the jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that clutch. Beware the jub-jub bird, and shun the frumious bandersnatch. This was, it actually says, Sortion the Hunter and the Jabberwock of Feywild.
Jabberwock of Feywild?
Yep, the Feywild.
Feywild.
And I will paste this.
Knowledge something? Do I know anything beyond... Am I familiar with this? Or is this an elven?
Knowledge words that are fun to say, like Jabberwock.
I got a 16.
Some of it's gibberish. 16 for what? Is it just...
Knowledge anything, because all my knowledges are at 8. I
You
got them all at 8.
you think that the Jub bird, the Jabberwock, and the Bandersnatch are all the names of
same.
monsters, and the monsters are of they're called collectively the Tane,
The Tane. Okay.
and these monsters come from the world of fairy.
Okay. All right then.
Knowledge history.
Do that. $13. I gotta start taking 10. 'Cause that's a thing I can do.
You think that Zorshan is important to these elves, but you don't know why. It's just called Zorshan the Hunter. And it looks like some sort of spirit was guiding him as he came through the portal and went into this place where he was being hunted by the Jub bird, the Jabberwock, and the Bandersnatch.
Okay.
Do you want to see pictures of the Jub bird and the Bandersnatch and
Yes. I think
the
everybody.
Jabberwock? Okay. Because
Yes, please, because these are very difficult not to mock.
All right. In order of the way you saw them, there's the Jub bird. There is the Bandersnatch. And there's the Jabberwock.
The Bandersnatch looks awful, as does the Jabber. Yeah, they're all not nice creatures. Though the Bandersnatch, if small enough, could be somewhat cute.
Yeah, like a little tiny one. Who's that
Like a
angry?
tiny-
Like a little kitty, a kitten-sized one. Like who's an angry
like-
kitty?
Like a pug-sized little Bandersnatch would be cute. That just
The,
could, like,
the way
gnaw on your
the way
fingers.
that they're depicted, they are much larger than him, although you're not too
Yeah.
sure if the proportions are correct.
Yeah.
And they were scary enough that this is a thing that they painted, and then this is the roof of part of the courthouse, which is also a very strange thing to have in the courthouse.
Yeah, he was just gonna ask the Aelemon about that.
Yeah, Aelman sort of arrives as he sees that you wandered into the courthouse and not the park is kind of nearby. He sort of glides forward. Ah, forgive me for my tardiness. I had to
going on,
see
right?
several of my clients, and they, well, as clients often do, exaggerate and talk a lot.
Of course.
Grievances are grievances, and one cannot bottle grief.
True enough, I was just enjoying some of the art here. I found this one rather curious.
Ah, yes. As a child, I would often spend entire afternoons gazing up at the young Zorshan the Hunter who became the first coronel of Terraslene.
Ah,
This place is Wild Zorshan Fey, named after our first coronel. A pocket dimension, made from the stuff of the Feywild. It was given to our first coronel of Terraslene, part gift, part spoils of conquest, and part dowry.
really?
An island of the world of fairies. A place that one could actually visit if they were so inclined, or so condemned. You see, this is a great reminder that careful for what you wish for. The Wild, the Fae got their vengeance, and trapped 3 of their most fearsome creatures inside the pocket dimension before bequeathing it to our coronel. Where a great palace was supposed to live here, it is still a wild realm, with these great beasts that stalk.
I see. Rather like these Fey.
It is also a reminder that laws can be tricky. Agreements. You must be careful with their wording. And while intent is important, so is the actual letter of an agreement. Yes. Many meanings have come from this painting, even though it was painted from before the time of the coming of the Imperium. And still it provides lessons.
It's quite beautiful.
The coronels, in years after, of course not what Solshin had. Solshin was a hunter at heart. It was him that hunted in the Feywild. It is when he encountered the Fey and, well, fought them, drank with them, married one. The other coronels often punished the worst criminals and villains, not by execution by their hand, but exile to the Wild. Wild Sortion Fey has become of great interest to certain personages in the Empire.
I imagine it has.
Yes. In fact, I do believe that we are expecting a visitor from the Imperial capital. The commissioner of the games themselves.
You don't say.
He raises an eyebrow. Now, of course, we have much more mundane matters to attend to. Would you care to join me in the garden? We should discuss this case.
Of course, lead the way.
Okay? He there's some squawking fucking peacock in the garden. He sits down and puts his book down and sort of watches the bubbling waters of a fountain for a little bit, and the peacocks. Very curious that this Baroness would send Luda so far up north without proper supervision.
Apparently she thinks her Lannister is capable.
Shut up.
Yes. I understand. Well, given that slaves are, well, property, and this slave has caused damage, in this case the death of a subject of the Empire, I believe that the recompense owed by the Baroness to the families and priesthood of the priest of the lake is well established in case law.
Only if he's actually convicted. We maintain it was self-defense. He was casting spells at other gladiators, slaves admittedly, who were defending themselves against wildlife. Thus, it's a simple case of defense, and he should be found not guilty. Additionally, we will be seeking damages at the loss of Roger, as he was forced to flee for his life due to a lynch mob made up predominantly of parishioners of that church. His subsequent capture by the criminal known as the Storm Priest, is it? Means he's virtually irrecoverable. So we'll be seeking damages for his value, his potential income that would be brought by his presence, as well as the emotional damages of the loss of Roger. As you can imagine, an owner who lets her gladiators roam free with weapons, she's rather close with him.
Ah, the Countess's, or the
Lady, Dowager Lady Opal.
It's Countess, right?
Countess.
The
Yeah,
Countess is... I see, he says. There are plenty of examples. In fact, we could fill a room full of them where the crimes of a slave result in either the death or incarceration of such slave, and the owner of the slave is not given recompense for the loss of the slave. It is their property and therefore their responsibility to keep their own slaves
Again,
in line.
you have not proven the crime.
I'm assuming
Yes.
that the testimony of well-respected priests who have arrived here with you will be enough.
Priests who were not present.
We can question the gladiators who were.
Of course you can. And they'll all attest to the fact that they were fighting fish.
Were any of these gladiators harmed by what this priest was doing? I understand that this priest conjured a water elemental.
Well, that'll come up in testimony. It engaged in battle with them.
I don't know if you two know the answer to that question. Let me know if you want to know the answer, because it is
Yeah,
known.
let me know the answer.
The answer is yes.
Yes. Okay.
Edward got bitch slapped a couple times.
They got pushed out of the...
Oh, and he
pushed off the
got
log.
struck once.
Yeah.
He had hit point damage.
I see. And then were any of the gladiators irreparably harmed by this summoning? During this training exercise, I understand it is quite common for priests to summon water elementals.
He was not part of the exercise. And once the fish, what they called Chobo and Bessa, engaged, it was no longer a training exercise. So fight to the death.
I see. Still, we have here a slave has killed a subject. You're rather lucky it did not kill an Imperial.
No, agreed.
Perhaps we could settle this without boring the judges with the finer details. I believe proper recompense to the family as well as to the priesthood would range between 20 and 25 talents.
I believe proper recompense for Roger's loss, Lady Opal's pain and his future income. He was quite good, you know.
Yes, I understand he had 4, 5 victories over the course of a year. While I'm sure those fights were impressive, it was not a very long career. I'm sure that you can replace him in time.
Yes, again, more cost. We'll be seeking, I suppose if we're being generous, 75 talents?
Surely, Damian, you don't think that the priesthood and his family are going to pay you 75 talents for his death?
Oh, tell you what, we're not one to gouge subjects who clearly don't have that sort of money. We'll take 50 from the church and call it even.
Roger's value is not as high as you say.
Oh, not simply his value. Roger was also a trainer.
I see.
And then, of course, Countess Opal's pay.
It is very uneven and soft ground upon which you stand your entire case, Damian. You realize that there are several things for a practicing lawyer that are of paramount. A case, and ability to argue, of course. how eloquent you argue this in front of your peers, but also how well you know the judges. Your mastery of law. Have you ever argued before, a magistrate before, or is this your first case?
Was the guy in Fallen Stone a magistrate? Or was he just the guy who was doing the judging? Because there's a difference.
You went before the commander, so I guess that was...
I've argued in court before.
Ah. We've never heard of you before you arrived.
Oh, most of my work is in contract.
Ah, I see. There were some peculiarities in the paperwork on how Roger was acquired.
Yeah, Damian's not familiar with the peculiar... He knew something was up, he didn't know what was peculiar. What peculiarities?
Some of the paperwork was just simply odd. I was wondering how much you would like me to delve into such a peculiarity in front of 3 judges and witnesses.
Well, if there's something peculiar about how he was acquired, I should very much like to know.
Interesting. Were they lovers?
That is certainly not my place to say or to know.
The Countess must be an old woman. This Roger sounds like he is a young man. Likely not.
Slave is a slave.
Well, the pain and suffering may prolong this case. We might have to hear the testimony from the Countess herself. Which would mean the Countess would have to travel here. I assume that the old lady who sent her gladiators all the way up here to entertain the people of the Protectorate, earn money and prestige. I'm assuming she did not go with them because, well, she is old and doesn't like to travel.
You do realize that if she does, when she does come up to testify, she will be adding the cost of her transportation, the soldiers for her protection, the clerics for her health. Bluff check, 'cause he knows she's not coming. Come on, Twitch.
Come on, do it. Take him for all he's worth. Get in there, lawyer the shit out of this.
Oh, what a crappy roll.
Just be a dick to everyone.
Reroll so far. 5, 3, 3.
I see. Well, you are quite energetic, exuberant even. Reminds me of my early days as a clerk.
Reroll that. Never mind.
Reroll that. I wish I could reroll that shit.
Perhaps the magistrates will be amused.
Perhaps they will.
Are you sure that you would not like some time to consider 25 talents? Given the...
I'll see you in court. Damian doesn't know what you did.
I didn't do it. I wasn't there.
Interesting. Well, you realize that
on principle.
you realize that in the remotest chance that you somehow are able to convince the 3 magistrates, to award you money for the death